Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I want to talk briefly about my 2 cents on geopolitics. Once again, I'm a doctorate of social science and history, economics, and politics, and theology. And that being said, I tend to see geopolitics through an historical lens. What I mean by that? Let's take a look at this map right here. This is my also always beautiful little globe, right? Now, up here, there is Europe, and this is the Middle East right here. Over here, we have where we have Russia and China and India, Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Japan, and Korea. Well, my father was telling me this. My father, who's a banker, and I intend to inherit his estate when he passes. But the other point is that my father was telling me that in economics, the best way forward is to use incentives to get people to join efforts or to do things that are pleasing to you. Tariffs tend not to work because once you tariff somebody, they're gonna cut a tariff, and as we've seen in 1930s, it always lead to um, problems. So the best way forward is through with incentives. Uh, all the noted economists, Dr. Jeffrey Sachs in New York, many other worldly noted economists, such as Dr. Friedman and Dr. Thomas Sowell, and many others, all see tariff as a non-starter. Because if you want to get something done, as the process, you use incentives to do so, and that gets to get it to do things. All right. Now, according to the Economist magazine, according to the Trumpet magazine, since the tariffs began, what's happening at that time, we see China, Japan, and even South Korea, which don't really know work together, and many others can call us around, joining to counter respond to Trump's tariffs. And early on, they were beginning to, Japan start even selling off American bonds. And that's what forces Trump to pause. See? As we say, action, reaction. Right? So if you look at history and look at the current situation, geopolitically speaking, I think in times, these countries that are Russia and China, Japan, South Korea, and other countries in Asia can form some form of a power trading bloc. And based on looking at this from a true and historical lens, yes, okay. This up here we call it Europe. Now Europe was once what we call the Roman Empire, and it became the Holy Roman Empire. At the aspects of also the Vatican. So I think as time progresses, we're gonna see these countries up here that have similar historical background, i.e., and basically from that, we can see that might want to streamline the European Union, put something together to form a power block up here too, streamline the European Union, and they might want to team up with Turkey here, and team up with these countries like Syria, Saudi Arabia, and other countries. Syria, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, these kind of Sunni Arab states. And actually, Hitler tried the same thing in World War II. So, yes, history always repeats itself. So I can see a streamlined European Union, well, the streamlined European Union, and getting close with Turkey, linking up with Syria, and Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, and other Sunni Arab state to where they can supply their energy needs. They're gonna Europe, streamline European Union, team up with the Sunni Arab states for their energy needs. You allow Turkey to address their energy needs and form um, a some form of a power block here. While on the other hand, you want to see Iran and say Libya, Egypt, another Shiite Muslim state, one on another block on the other side. So in essence, I see the world moving towards different power blocks and spheres of influence. So one up here, we've got the European Union, a streamlined European Union. Probably will it down to like 10 countries, 11 countries out there, 12 countries out there, but a streamlined European Union up here. And then incidentally, on the current map of the European Union, there's only 12 stars. Right, so it's good. So based looking at things through an historical lens and history are repeating itself, I see a streamlined European Union up here, right? One upon that, and they would then say form an alliance with the Sunni Arab states and Turkey for their energy needs. Okay, while over here you have China and all the Asian and Russian bloc forming another um, power bloc and trading concerns. These two elements will most likely team up and try to freeze out the United States. But one thing economics, prosperity, and business don't like. They don't like uncertainty. And the current situation is creating a lot of uncertainty. In matter of fact, recently, Dr. Jeffrey Sachs was saying the stock market lost what $10 trillion in wealth. That's not very pleasing, as my father would say. And my father's a major banker. So, no. So I see power block over in Asia. It's like China and Japan, Korea, and the Asian countries team up with Russia. We're here with one power block, and then a streamlined European Union. We'll down to like the 10 countries or 12 countries the most. Streamlined European Union of different up here, and they will then form a partnership with, say, the Sunni Arab states and Turkey for their energy needs. Okay. And while on the other hand, there you might have Iran and you know other Shiite states forming another problem. Now, I think just looking at it from a historical lens, and the history also repeats itself, I see at some point, the Asian power bloc and European power bloc might team up and try to freeze out the United States because the people don't like chaos, they don't like uncertainty, and they want to most likely want to move on from the dollar to replace the dollar. All right, so that's all I see. I want my nice little globe right here. Because when it comes to geopolitics, I tend to look at it through a true and historical lens, and that history tends to repeat itself, goes in cycles. The same madness of tariff and kind of tariff was done in the 1920s and 30s. It didn't work then. It tended not to work. Your best approach is to use incentives to get people to do stuff and invest in certain things. So the best way, that's my 2 cents for now. Bye, have a good day.